Game atin at simulan muli ang bakbakan. Farflux Esports versus Onic Philippines. Onic Esports from Indonesia. Ang bakbakan, men. Simulan na natin ang bakbakan. Sa mga na-late at hindi alam ang mga naganap, nagugi po ang AP Bren against RRQ Hoshi at sila po tutuloy sa Grand Finals. Habang ang RRQ Hoshi naman ay mag-aantay para sa Battle for Third bukas. Okay. Kailan lang sumpisa ng MPLPH? Shoutout Overlord sa March 15 ang simula ng MPLPH Season 13. Ganda ng laro.
I mean, there was a lot of like criticism.
Hindi pa naman tapos ang Haruki Hoshi.
Especially in the championship.
Bukas makakapaglaro pa sila, no?
And there was so many content that went around the globe.
Farflux Esports versus Onic, Turkey versus Indonesia game. Ay, panoorin na natin to. Magsisimula na maya-maya. Okay. Angas si Flap, sabi ni Mati. Oo, grabe. Sobrang lala ni Flap. Ang sakit sa ulo ni Flap TZ, pre. Sobrang lala, Mati.
Right now in Games of the Future,
no?
I gotta say that that's already erased. I don't think that it is anymore a factor.
Wait lang, hinaan.
He's playing so well.
Hinaan ko lang. O, yan. Dito ulit tayo sa gitna. Since wala pa naman, di pa naman nagsisimula. So, since stream ko naman to, so dito tayo sa gitna. Okay. Tayo simulan na. Tara na. Let's go. Simulan na natin to, boys.
Yeah, definitely not dead weight. And I will say, honestly, even in the game that they lost against RCC, they were winning the majority of the game. I mean, they took most of the neutral objectives. They led in the early phase, the mid phase. It was literally
down. Ano na nangyari? Kuya Burrito na po laban. Farflux Esports versus Onic.
They would have been able to take that one as well.
Panlela baka gayahin si Albert. Ani Albert si Skylar. Hindi yan, pre. Hindi yan. Kalmado lang. Kaya yan. Kayo ba, ano bang ano nyo dito? Ano bang inyong napupusuan dito? Yan ang gusto ko malaman. Ano ang napupusuan nyo dito sa teams na maglalaro ngayon? Ayan na.
You talked about it, definitely warmed your heart since seeing him in M4. Yes, TNZ over there, definitely being a key role into
si Bad Gal. Si Bad Gal Sep ang kanilang, ayan si Rosa. Alam niyo ba, sumayaw kami niya ni Rosa. Hindi ko lang kung nakita niyo, sumayaw kami niya ni Rosa sa sa M5 M5 Gala. So, sobrang ganda ng mukha, sobrang pogi niyan, pre. Sobrang pogi niyan. Maliit lang siya na lalaki, pero pogi. Sobrang pogi. Ba't kasi madaling araw itong tournament, sabi ni Crackhead. Wala ganun talaga eh. Wala tayong magagawa. Ralph, shoutout. Shoutout, inaantok, mga inaantok. 44 Eastwest, shoutout sa'yo. Shoutout Jay. Tapos na po. Bukas pa ang laro ng Grand Finals. Bukas pa. Tapos na. Bukas pa Grand Finals. Onic. Ito na.
Yeah,
San
stepping up to the scene.
Sansky boy. Boots. Dito lang manonood, boring sa mismong live. Sige, dito ka na lang sa sa Larta, sama mo ko dito. Albert, CW.
King of the skies, able to do anything, and CW.
Albert.
Kind of chillaxing, relaxing in the background. Albert taking his position in the gold lane for today's
alam ko may sakit kasi si CW, so hindi siya makapaglaro. Yun ang aking pagkakaalam. Kaya hindi siya naglalaro. Si Sans may lamig oh. Nilalamig pa si Sans, pre, panis. Si Albert ang mag-gold ha.
There's a lot of criticism as well. You know,
ano sabi ni Kilua 017? Oh, lala nun, pre. Lala. Lala. Pero ang ganda naman ng bawi ng sobrang ganda ng bawi ng RRQ. Medyo nabitin lang talaga dun sa last game. Shoutout sa iyo, Boboy. Hello, Admiral Long. Thank you so much. Sa mga hindi pa naka-follow, follow nyo naman ako. Maya naman kayo. Magsisimula na MPL, men. Ano na? Lakas ni Flap nag-zone. nga eh. Sabi ni Michael Lewis, ando yung live stream sa YouTube. Search nyo po sa YouTube kung ayaw nyo po ako marinig dito. Mag-search nyo na lang sa YouTube. Wait lang, lalagay ko ulit yung mukha ko sa gitna.
if I'm not
Yan.
mistaken. So
Sorry.
he got through the gauntlet.
Kung
and
ayaw nyo
now
pong makita ang aking pagmumukha
it is not
dito,
like, okay,
check nyo
maybe
na lang,
Arbor
pre.
belongs
Check nyo na lang sa
in
YouTube.
GOTF.
Pwede
He
kayo
needs to
manood sa
actually play
YouTube.
with GOTF.
Okay, search nyo lang
That's
yung
the thing, right?
Games of the
Everybody from Onic is
Future,
very difficult to
MLBB,
replace. So how do you
semifinals, bla
replace
bla bla.
Kyrie,
Yun.
right?
Baka mahanap nyo.
That
Hindi
guy
MPL yan.
is,
Hindi,
you
hindi,
know,
hindi. Hindi po to
that guy's
MPL. Ano
fast.
oras na ba sa Russia? Hindi ko alam. Baka gabi na dun.
How do you replace Sounds? Sounds a genius.
Well, di lang
You
ako
can see
makapaniwala
that
na talo
he
blacklist,
has
sabi
his own
nila.
merits in
Yeah.
the game,
Wala eh.
and it's
Ganun
difficult.
talaga eh.
In
Minsan
fact,
naman
when
nanalo,
Albert
minsan
went
natatalo.
here to Onic, I'm just really,
Ganun talaga ang
it's
buhay.
like, you know those memes wherein you're like,
Expedif
you know,
malala. Ay, hindi alam mo ba? Sobrang lakas
what's
ni
his name, the basketball player?
Banana
Young
mag-XP.
meme, where he's like,
Isipin mo, since season 1 ng MPL Indonesia,
Oh, yeah.
nandiyan na
I've
siya.
seen it with
Tapos
the question mark.
nakakasabay pa rin
Nick
siya.
Young, Nick Young,
Di ba?
Like,
Lupit.
the question mark, like, why
Sobrang
do
lupit,
you do
sobrang
that?
lupit.
But, well,
It was-
Totoo bang kaaris na si Kyrie sa Onyx? Sino nagsabi why? Laki-laki ng pera.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you.
Lakihan mo pa, boss. Hayaan mo sila. Nagkikento pa lang naman si Wolf eh. Gusto niyo makita kung gaano kayaman si Wolf? O yan si Wolf. O. Yaman yan. Mayaman.
Definitely says a lot about Albert rising to the occasion. But speaking of the goal
Onic ID na, Kuya Breeze. Onic ID na. Onic
we
ID
kind of
na.
mentioned the hero pool from the side of Fireflex
Let's go. Support tayo. Support na tayo. Onic ID na.
On the way they like to focus in on the draft and jump into the land of Dawn. And they go for more of what I would consider textbook meta, right? Those staple marksmen, like you said, the Claude, the Carry, is usually what they kind of
Sabi niya, di pinapakita yung draft phase. Wala pang drafting phase, Matt. Kalma lang, kalma. Sabi ni Yobil, boss, ano masasabi mo last pick ng Blacklist? Tingin mo maganda Rafa or Diggy? Actually, inisip ko nga doon Diggy. Pero, na-practice naman yun eh. Ginagawa naman nila sa scrims yun. So,
hey, I like it.
ayun.
This is the first time I
Na-excite masyado, Buritz. Akala mahabol yung Gwyn. Uy, pero kung namatay dun si Kyle TC, maaantay nila si Iran. Baka sila pa makapag-lord dun. So, talagang talagang hindi natin masasabing swerte. Calculated yung risk na pagpasok dun ni Kyle. Pero tika na yun, tika na yun. Replay po ba yan, boss? Hindi, live po to, live. Live to Orphic. Onyek tayo, Cedric na. Antayin nyo, wala pa yung drafting phase eh. Kikentuhan pa sila eh. Kaya nga hininaan ko pa eh. Pagka nagsimula na yan, lalakasan na natin sila, Wolf. Diba? Sino panalo? Wala pang nananalo. Pero pasok na ang AP Brand sa Grand Finals. Natalo ang RRQ Hoshi, pero may battle for third pa naman. MTB is the key, boss. Ano ka ba? Ito sobrang bait ni MTB. Last time kasama ko yung si MTB last time. Naglaro kami basketball sa QC. Last din maglaro basketball yan eh. Kasama ko sila. Si Paul Pierce ba yan? Nga, kamukha ni Paul Pierce yan, Cram TC na. Napansin mo ba rin? Napansin mo din pala. Kamukha ni Paul Pierce yan eh.
We're gonna witness greatness in the making from Onic, but also
Onic tayo, may kalye tayo, Pilipino. Ano sunod laban? Stanford, sabi ni Stanford. Fireflux Esports versus Onic. Bren RRQ ba kanina? Oo, Bren RRQ. Panalo, Bren. James Saint, Sanity, sabi niya, nanggigil daw si Banana. Yun nga yung sinasabi kong risk eh. Kung nakuha ni Banana yon, for sure. Ano yun? Yan, tatlo tayo ha. Patabi ako sa inyo, Wolf. Game. Sino malakas sa inyo ni Butters, boss? Mag-ML? Parehas kami malakas. Lahat kami malakas mag-ML. Nasa RRQ na si Rad. Oo, nasa RRQ na. Naka-short kaya si Master Wolf dyan. Oo, naka-short yan. Puyat livestream. Manood lang kayo dito. Manood lang kayo. Kaya pala nag-retire na si Paul Pierce. Nasa MLB. Sabi ni Torco Harto. Mas malakas, imagine. Lahat kami malakas, okay? Lahat kami malakas. Yun lang yun. Nakaboxer. Nakaboxer yan. Alam niyo ba pagka nagkakas din ako online? Nagganon din ako. Complete suit. Walang necktie pero nakaboxers lang.
They might pick up Ruby as their priority.
Baka brief siguro si Wolf.
So far, that's what they really like.
Tangina, sobrang weird na tong stream na to. Hinuhula natin kung naka-brief ba si Wolf, naka-boxer.
for Fireflex Esports. They're definitely going more for comfort bands.
Mas malakas
doing a
siya.
little bit
Oh,
of
lahat
research
kami
on
malakas.
they
Yan ang
have such a
tatandaan
high
nyo.
viewer pool that,
Lahat kami
definitely
malakas
have some
mag-ML.
advantages on the
Okay?
table. But this is the first time we're actually seeing them
Sana
ban this
ma-upset ng
order.
FF yung Onic
Outside of
para
the
iyak
build
talaga
and
mga
that first pick.
taga-Indo.
Winnavir's
Pero
have to
malakas
take
ang
off the table. I think it's
malakas ang
such a strong,
Fireflux. O, tingnan natin.
denial for that to be able to walk.
Nolan,
There are
Vic,
some players
sana.
that can be slotted in.
Matilda.
Fairness
Ano yung,
is
ano yung mga
actually
ban sa
walking so
kabila?
far. Normally,
Aginivir,
we see Fireflex ban that out
Novaria,
in the
tsaka
first
Joy.
phase of the
So,
draft.
yan yung mga,
With that walking
mga
on
ano.
the table, though,
Si Wolf lang ba
do they
nagcast sa,
pick it up,
ano,
or do they
nagcast sa
risk the
Pinas?
chance
Hindi.
of Onic taking that away
Sa
from them?
English stream,
Beautiful
ang alam
first
kong
pick out of
caster, si
Fireflux.
Wolf at saka
They were
si
going for the Ruby. They went for
Naisu.
Nana.
Yun.
Also a hero that
Sa Filipino
Onic
broadcast
likes to
natin,
play,
MDL
and
casters
generally a hero
ang nagcast.
that answers
Si Joshi
the
Cake,
playstyle
sila
of Onic,
Qwerty,
because
si
Onic, they're
Antianara,
really
si
wants to go up close and
Athena,
personal, right? They wanna
Ingan,
initiate. Nana stops
tapos
them.
yung
And
bagong
obviously,
MPL caster na
Fireflux
si
being
Brigida.
phenomenal with this
Yun,
hero.
nandun sila.
Great job of Fireflux. Onic
Sila yung
likes to
nagcast
go for
netong
Ruby,
ano,
though.
Games of the Future.
And usually what you pick up in this case is the Baksha. So maybe that is the choice for Onic. Like Baksha.
Tanong ko lang, ba't di naglaro si CW? May sakit daw eh.
Or
May
Baksha
sakit daw.
plus Harith.
Sa MPL boss, makikita ka namin ulit doon. Makikita niyo ako season 13. In-announce na naman yung roster
That's a
namin.
little surprising.
So makikita niyo
Now,
ako sa MPL. Sana
that is
magkita-kita tayo
interesting
doon ha.
because I guess, I mean, they're
Manood
trying
po
to
kayo
take
sa
some of those away,
offline broadcast ng
because like I said,
MPL.
they're more of a staple
Manood
meta
po kayo
type
at
team,
kita-kits
Fireflex
tayo.
Esports.
Ano link ba yan, boss? Boss, hindi ka po mailalagay yung link eh. Hindi naman pwede maglagay ng link dito sa YouTube eh.
Maybe
Sa
in that realm position still can be the
sa
XP. Like we
TikTok eh.
said,
Hindi po
Boots,
pwede.
normally he's been favoring that Lapu
Pero
Lapu.
search nyo lang ano Games of the
Ruby in mix, I
Future.
think it's a safer option for him. Right
May
now,
bagong
trying to
team
find
ba
out
ang
the
Pinas
draft.
ngayon,
Not too
boss?
many
Wala,
heroes
wala,
can
wala.
really go toe-to-toe
Walang
with
bagong
Ruby,
team.
in the XP lane, able to kind of
Existing
sustain
team,
even
tas mga
dive
bagong players lang.
compositions.
Yeah.
It works
Boss,
well
ano
against
masasabi mo sa
Fireflex
Onic
Esports.
Era?
I mean, they pick up the
Yeah,
Nana.
Cloud.
There's some great early game damage.
Ano?
You mentioned it being a great
Labas sa
balance, not a
comfort
lot
zone
of
niya,
auto
pero
pick that
mukhang
up,
solid
and
kasi yung
I
team
think
ng
they're
Onic
off
na yun.
to a good start. Now, there are still some options on the
So,
table
isipin
that
mo.
they pick up. Both
Kailangan lang nilang
Minotaur and
ano,
Cloud.
The Apex 47
i-push
special,
palalo si
and
Gem.
they take
Kasi
away
si
the
Gem yung
filter as
XP
well
lane
from
nila eh.
Onic. We know for sure that it's great against the Cloud, so it's I mean,
May
the
bago
Ruby
pa
can
si
play the
eSports.
EXP lane as
Sayang
well.
minanabos
We know for
nagre-roster.
sure that
Oo
Fireflux
nga eh.
really likes this Cloud anyway, so they're gonna be picking it
Ano,
up.
anong team tingin mo
This is
mag-i-improve
comfort.
ngayon?
Comfort pick up for Fireflux Esports.
TNC. Malakas ang
Now,
TNC.
Onic, they might
Andun
swing
sila
and
hate eh.
pick up the Grok as their last pick because Grok just worked
Ano
well
lang,
against this
kailangan din nila i-push yung
great staying power against
XP nila, si
different
Heads.
compositions. And at the same
Kasi
time,
galing
to
ano yun eh,
have
galing
a way to,
Euphoria, amateur team. So tingnan natin.
to apply to look
Ay,
for the mana
gagi.
because Grok is very tanky in that.
Maganda first 3
However,
picks ng
Onic,
Fireflux ha.
will
Nanamino.
then secure the Lilia first. Making it so that
Boss, ano ba sabi mo kay
with the
Hate
Ruby plus the
sa
Lilia, if
TNC?
ever they
Eh
pick
di
up this
ano,
Ruby for Keyboy,
good job para
Lilia
sa
plus the
kanya.
Ruby is such a strong mid lane duo that can
Black,
be,
Boritz, meron pa sa MDL. Oh, MDL.
around the river.
Mag-start, mas simula, ano, mas maaga magsisimula ang MDL.
From the side of Fireflex Esports,
Ang simula ng MPL ay March 15, ang MDL ata March 11, March 12. Yun, yung weekdays nun.
I mean, it seems like they're kind of leaning into their comfortability with this draft.
Prediction
right? Like
2-1
you said,
Onic
staple
win.
pick from Apex
Ako rin,
47
prediction ko
on
2-1.
the Minotaur, one of those marksmen that we see time and time again with the
Onic
quad,
ako
especially
dito
with the
eh.
carry not being available. That's probably Sunshine's next best answer. The
Sabi ni
export does
Salarda,
get
ikaw
banned
ba
down,
boss
but
gusto mo
Onic,
rin mag-pro?
the good read for the denial,
Dati gusto ko.
and Fireflex
For sure.
responds back to
May
that
denda kasi ako,
blast.
matanda na ako eh. Guys eh.
Maybe a backsha again for as the last
Matanda na
pick
ako.
for Fireflux Esports. Onic, we're looking for your
Ilalabas sa
hero.
TikTok yung live nun kapag MPL. Oo, Silo. Sino. Ilalabas
Yeah,
naman.
Fireflux Esports likes to play.
Ilalabas sa TikTok
They
yan.
also pick up Phovius, in fact. That's a surprise. But maybe in this particular
Lockers
game,
na ba?
maybe that's
Oo,
not
matanda
the
na
case.
tayo. Lockers na.
When they played up against Blacklist, it was
Sino ba pala
Tyro
ng first game?
actually
Bren
that
po ba?
they
Yup,
went in.
Bren. 2-1
Maybe
standing.
because Blacklist went in for the backsha.
2-0 Fireflux
So
win.
instead, it's the
Baka sila pa
Fredrin
mag-champion
that
kasi
went from
swertehin.
Onic.
Malakas ang Onic pre. Malakas, kahit wala si CW dyan.
There's another pickup there.
Albert,
The
malakas si
CC
Albert.
is still on the table
Right.
to be picked up.
That's right.
I just realized
That's
that
right.
walk through the draft, and I think that would be a
Yung
solid
game.
option.
Ganda
from
ng
the
ban.
side of Fireflex Esports.
Basa nila
One of
yung
those heroes that a
Barats.
lot of
Mahirap
players
yung
have a hard
Barats
time
eh.
keeping up with
Gandang
and
basa.
creating that opportunity. to kind of split
Yeah.
push on those lanes, especially with more of their signature pick.
Kala ko
And
10 ka
that was
pa
a
lang,
really
Lods.
good
Mukha
read
ba
from
akong
Onic,
10?
for that denial on
Boss,
the
ba't ka
export,
mukha mo
not
si
having
Kyrie? Hindi, mas
almost
pogi sa akin
guaranteed.
yan.
That is what they were trying to kind of
Actually,
pick
hindi
up
naman ako
there.
pogi.
sure.
Pogi si Kyrie.
A great denial, a good read from the side of Onic, just showcasing their mastery in
fanny.
drafting, but the fanny
Namumula na yung mata ko.
looks like they're trying to
Nakatok na
limit the
ako.
king of the skies.
Yeah, that's right. Onic, the three-dimensional draft that you're saying, gonna go for the Martis instead. This time, they will want to keep the flexibility on the Ruby, so we don't know yet if this Ruby is going EXP or Rogue.
Nakatok na ako, boss. Si
For
Kylie mas
Fireflux
pogi.
now,
Oo,
gonna be
Kylie
looking
yan, pre.
for their
Mukha kang
X-Blade as well
1920 lang,
as
boss.
their
Talaga?
jungler.
Mukha ba ako 1920?
When you're up against the Martis, there's always that backshia
Kaya ako
factor, and I
nagganto.
think it works
Dahil
for the lineup of Onic. So maybe they just go
hinahangin
that
nung
route.
fan ko dito. Meron
Then,
akong
for
fan sa
their
taas eh.
EXP lane,
Lakers tayo dito.
Lapu-Lapu.
Totoo po bang si Wolf pinakamayaman ng caster? Oo,
no
pinakamayaman
comment.
yan.
So the Lapu-Lapu is
Siya
easy
pinakamasipag.
versus the carry. They can one-shot that carry if the carry does
Oy,
not
Jonathan! Shoutout sa'yo,
Or
Jonathan
go,
Kuha. Katapos lang mi magkape pero very happy na
maybe you
EP Bren
go
magsisimula
with the
ng
timing that
bagong
they
world
also pick up or
tour
you go
in
NHS.
Russia.
Usually
Thank you
what
so
they
much,
use
Jonathan Kuha,
against
sa pagdalaw dito.
Martis
By the
is
way,
matchup
bigyan ko
of
lang kayo ng
Fireflux
idea.
with
Si
the
Jonathan
jungle
Kuha, yung
is
nandyan ngayon sa
choice
comment
for
section sa
Fireflux.
TikTok. Lahat po ng mga
Didn't
casters
really
sa
work out that
MPL at
well.
MDL,
Wow.
even host
With
si
the
Mara,
Lunox
binigyan nila kami
in that jungle
binigyan niya kami
position.
lahat
This is
ng
similar to game, one when they went up against
ano,
Blackness, their opening
ano ba
debut
tawag
in
doon?
game of
Yung
Futures,
drawing
2024.
na ano,
They ran this competition,
drawing
they went all
ng
the way to a
mga
20-minute
itsura
game,
namin.
Yeah.
but they were not able to
Pen,
claim victory,
parang
and
pen
Blacklist
art,
was able to
pen
shut
art,
them down.
ganun.
Looks like they're going
Di ko alam
Infamous
yung
again,
tawag,
a little
specific
bit
na
more
tawag doon,
confident than
pero
the last time
yun,
possibly.
binigyan kami
I like the
lahat,
CC
lahat
pickup.
kami.
He's definitely gonna have some
Maraming
strong
salamat,
players
Jonathan
rotating
Kuha.
around. And now,
Nakatabi
we're
pa
on to
yun
our
dito
last
sa
pick
akin.
for the side of
Thank you
Onic.
so much.
There goes
Shoutout,
Rookie
sa,
spot
sa,
again. I thought
sa
maybe
yung
we
mga
would
tropa
see,
natin sa YouTube,
a
shoutout
Lapu-Lapu
sa'yo.
or something of that nature.
Marco
Maybe
Del
some
Valle,
XP
tsaka
or
Mark
not
Larry
in the
Chua.
XP and Ruby
Tito Burrito,
rotated into
tits
that rogue
na ako,
position.
pre. Upset
Yeah.
sana ako nga eh.
It's still swappable, but
Pero
I think
ganda ng laro,
it-
sobrang
it-
ganda
it's
ng
more
laro.
likely that they pick up the
Baba na
Onic
ako,
as the
ha?
EXP laner.
Nagsisimula
So,
na
the
yung
benefit
game eh.
here for the
Baba na
Onics,
ako.
that combo we have with the Ruby,
Ba't
the
ganyan
limited
drop ng
source
FF?
of
Sorry,
spots
hindi ko na
on
masyadong
neutral
natutukan
across
eh.
all of the other heroes, but most
Sabi ni
particularly
Riley,
with
ano?
Ruby, you
Riley,
have a big
parang yung
combo with
ginawa ni
Onic that
Michael B
can
kay
always
Robert
refill
Downey
your
Jr.
vengeance and allow for that
Ano yun?
to have a sniping potential with the final slash all the time.
Si Zay takot,
Always gonna
ano
have
naman eh,
heroes
galit
to
naman, tangina may pasok
initiate,
pa
and
boss.
that
Okay lang
will
yan,
be
pre.
good in combination with
Matulog ka
both
na lang sa
carry as
school,
well
okay
as
na yun.
Martis. These two
Miyaka ni
heroes
Kurtz, oh,
are
load
heroes
lang
that
kayo.
can actually
Kaya
get
yan,
kills.
kaya yan guys,
So
kaya
they're
yan guys.
sleepers in general.
Shoutout
Carry,
Axman,
Buffalo
shoutout
Female,
sa'yo
you have
from
enough
YouTube,
attacks
hello
with
po.
first time a hero, and
Sounds
for
boss, tas
the
quiet muna.
Martis,
Okay,
you have
sige.
the Decimate.
Okay,
So,
kalma lang tayo ha,
the
lalakasan ko na
game
yung
plan
boses ha.
for Onic is to confirm the kills, to actually
Okay,
finish
konting
the
chill-chill na lang
job
tayo
every
ha.
time.
Kailangan ko pa rin kasi
That's what
magsalita kasi
Fireflux
commentary
Esports,
tsaka live ko to eh. Baka
kinda
ma-flag tayo
have a
ni
disadvantage on
YouTube
because they
at
are
saka
sustained
ni
kind of lineup.
TikTok, okay?
They have low HPs but high sustains. So Onic identified that and picked this composition up.
Yes, some
Okay,
high-level
full
drafting
magic.
indeed from both sides of the table as we go
In
through
fairness,
the
maganda
virtual
lineup
events
ng
that landed on
Fireflux ha. Pero
Fireflux Esports,
gusto ko yung
all
Martis.
the way
Ganda
out
ng
from
Martis.
Turkey, making it into the semifinals, going up against the last standing team out from Indonesia, Onic, who will be able to claim victorious in this best of 3 for the semifinals and claim their spot.
Huwag ka mag-spam.
In the
Oo,
grand
Cram mo.
finals to
Wag
face
na,
AP
wag mo
Brent.
spam. Maganda lineup
To
eh.
the matchups, I believe that the carry has an easier time in the early stages, but late game 100% you're gonna have to give it to the Claude.
Sino
Up top,
nanalo
CC
sa
versus
Bren?
Ardent,
Bren po,
and
Bren.
already Suns has
Thank you so much,
forced
Axman,
passive
sa
on
pagdalaw
Banana.
dito.
Ugh.
Live po tayo sa YouTube tsaka sa
Yeah,
TikTok ha.
luckily the Molina's gift worked in his favor to keep him alive, but that's a lot of early game damage. You are going to go ahead and see Onic trying to take the advantage. I mean, they are running the Martis inside of that
Chill
jungler,
lang tayo,
right? We know
guys.
he's an
Chill
early
lang,
aggressive jungler and can definitely sniff out those low HP opponents. Fireflux Esports, you mentioned it as we were jumping into the draft.
Nag-aayos
They're a
ng
team
mic
that
si
kinda
Wolf,
focuses
naririnig.
on team-oriented clashes. And that's kind of how they
Yeah.
prioritize their draft. Now, they did something interesting. They pulled out the Lunox in the jungle. Up against a team like Onic, we got to see how this kind of plays out, right? Can it kind of deal the damage they're looking for and take these neutral
Ano kayang
objectives?
bang buo
Will we
nito
see
yan si
Kyrie
Jan?
kind of bridge that
Ano
gap in
makita?
the early game with the Martis?
Well, they have to utilize this Martis in that regard. They have to ride the momentum.
ASMR to, man.
They have to start fast for Onic because late game, this burst composition
Sige na,
from
focus na
Onic,
tayo,
the
focus
burst
na.
kills kind of composition might not be that good anymore because that means that the Claude is already very strong, a little bit tanky with Wind of Nature, and the
Ganda ng
Purifier
skin ni
is
Kyrie.
even,
Hindi ko kasi nakuha yan. Wala nga
more
eh.
usable in the latter portions
Ang
of the game.
dayas
And
eh.
of course, Apex 47 with just a little bit of an opening can pop the Minoan's Fury.
Top, flicker.
And now you are seeing both teams fight it out over this
Naku,
turtle,
na
trying
ganun.
to take the advantage. Kyrie
Matik na yan.
with the retribution.
Galing ni Boots dun.
Able to
Pinorse
claim
yung
it for
ulti.
Onic and may be able to get a kill. Tries to go in, find Alien, not able to close the distance, but they were able to take this first neutral objective.
Yeah, looking really good for Onic, especially with Boots again being
Shoutout
on
Mark
point.
Larry. Ano yan? Sabi ni Axman,
Not the
Emmanuel
best
de los
performance
Reyes.
from him
Okay.
in the
Shoutout sa
F5
Emmanuel
World
de los Reyes.
Championship, but
Yun pala ang
definitely
ngayong
teams in the
pangalan.
future started in the group stages so well, and then
Mamaya nagugutom pa
now
nga
in
ako.
the
Parang
playoffs
gusto ko nga
is
magkanin pa
looking
eh.
really good when it comes to his
Mamaya,
form.
after nitong game 1,
Yeah, definitely looking really
kukuha
strong
akong kanin
so far.
para
They will give him a
magandang
massive XP boost
panonood
for the side
natin,
of
pre.
Onic. They
Ayos ba
are
yan?
slightly ahead in terms of gold already, leading by 1,200. And we know Onyx is one of those teams, even with the littlest advantage, can go a mile. Right now, Fireflux Esports, this may be their
Kuha akong kanin,
toughest
nagutom ako eh.
challenge yet. But
Mamaya pa
let's not
matatapos
discredit
to
that
eh.
they did take down one of the
Tapos
highest
bukas
Laker
baka
rated
i-live
teams
din natin yung
inside
Grand
of the
Finals. Baka
Philippines,
masaya.
shutting down Blacklist right before this yesterday inside of the quarterfinals, and now having a chance to take down one of the top teams from Indonesia. Rosa,
Ooh,
you said it warmed your heart inside
Boy pa.
M4, having a little bit of a hard time getting online with the Nana. Gonna go ahead and proc that Molina's gift to keep him in this game. Neither side has found a body so far.
Yep.
boy
With
pa,
all due
boy pa,
fairness
boy
for
pa.
Fireflux Esports, they're keeping up, and it seems like they're not overly
Bukas din
aggressive
Grand Finals. So, bukas din,
about
Cedric.
wasting some of their early
Randomly
HP,
mad, shoutout sa'yo.
early
Parang gusto ko
deaths
tuloy magkanto
whatsoever.
na titlog. Ay, oo
Like,
nga,
even
no?
TNC committing the
Hindi ko alam kung may
opportunity
bukas
to
pang
stick out.
tindahan
They
dito sa amin eh.
understand the situation where
Wala akong, ano eh.
they only
Wala akong
team fight
idea.
around the neutral objectives and they only
Sabi ni
have to wait
Carl,
for
what
the
time
late
Grand
game
Finals
anyways.
bukas?
Don't
Hindi
be
ko alam eh.
overly
Ko-confirm ko na lang.
Onic
Post ko na lang sa
decides, okay,
Facebook
why
page
don't
ko
we try to
mamaya.
speed this?
Kung pag nalaman ko, ha?
Kyrie
Yeah,
is
they
a
are gonna try and
retribution a level
contest.
ahead.
But the thing is,
Easter
if
Joy,
they can
thank you
find a
so
way to
much sa
disrupt
heart.
TNC in the
Thank you so
early
much,
game, he
Easter
won't be able
Joy.
to deal the early game damage he's looking for, and I think that's what Onic is trying to lead
Sabi
into.
ni
They're
JC,
like, hey,
no
they're
waiting
going
si
a little
Grand
unorthodox
Finals.
with the drafting. If we can make them
AP Brent
uncomfortable,
pa.
we can kind of lead into that and make that work in our favor.
Morning, good morning
But
sa inyo
Fireflux
lahat.
Esports, clapping back, doing a good job on kind of contesting the invasions from Onic in their jungle.
Boots.
However, they're not
Sakit
able
ng
to
puks,
defend
no?
the turtle as Onic just secured.
Grabe talaga maglaro
Kyrie
ang
still has
ano,
the
no?
retribution,
Onic.
steals the buff.
Pak, huli ka boy.
Classic Kyrie.
Burst,
From Onic.
TNC. Hulog,
Classic
gundo.
Big play from Boots, opening
Fuck.
up the opportunity with the final slash. Kyrie with the alley-oop will take down
Isipin
TNC
mo,
with the
5 minutes pa lang, pre,
decimation.
no?
First blood on the board for
5
Onic.
minutes pa lang po, tsa.
Man, that's great aggression.
Andun
from
na sila
Onic.
sa third
First,
tower.
They went in for the purple buff for an attempt
Yan,
at
namamatay.
And what's sure that Fireflux Esports
Sino
was
lumaglag sa
able to
blacklist?
fend that
Fireflux
off.
Esports
It
po.
meant that they had to utilize
Ayun,
their,
sabi ni Iska Pakera, 10 PM daw
47
bukas.
and
Thank you so
early
much
stages
ano
of the
sa
game, that
information,
ultimate
Iska.
quite long when it comes to like it's a
10 PM daw,
cooldown.
10
So,
PM.
afterwards,
Oh,
Onic
ganda
had
yan,
the free
bukas,
pass to go
diba?
to the turtle.
Sakto
Then,
lang,
Kyrie
pre.
didn't have to commit anything, any retribution for that. So, they had another round of
Ba't kaya
invasion
sila
onto the orange buff this
Lunox?
time of Fireflux
Actually,
Esports.
maganda
That's
pa rin
well
naman ang
calculated
Lunox eh.
and
Na-nerf
very
lang yung
natural
cooldown,
kind of
pero
move
yung
coming
damage
from
niya
Onic.
doon pa rin naman.
Knowing full
So kung
well
gusto
that
mo lang
Apex 47, every time he
ma-maximize
commits
yung
to one
cooldown
that
reduction,
does not
pwede ka
end
mag-magic
until for Fireflux
emblem,
Esports,
mag-mage
they buy
emblem,
one or 2 minutes
tapos
of-
magic boots,
of gameplay.
enchanted talisman, lightning
Of
truncheon,
You're definitely kinda
45% na
leaning
yun.
forward to that. I mean, you're talking about the Lunox in the jungle.
Diba, may
Good
plus
with really
5% ka na eh.
aggressive, but with Kyrie able to take her down, that's gonna
Parang
put
ganun.
her in a little bit of a disadvantage rotating
Ano
around
ba
the
ng,
map.
ano?
Definitely gonna have to be a little bit more
Ayan
careful
na,
on
yun
the
sinasabi ko,
first
diba,
neutral
magic
objective turtle,
boots.
and then also
Magic
losing their
boots
jungle
yung
on top of that
si TNZ.
is gonna put Onic at
Tapos
a big
enchanted
advantage.
talisman,
Now he's
lightning
by
truncheon
3,000
next niya.
gold.
Okay pa
And
rin,
he's being
okay pa rin
propped,
yun.
though. Needs to get out of there. Albert trying to get the kill.
Yan lang, ang
Kyrie
ganda
with
kasi
their
ng ano,
first
ganda kasi ng
2
Martis
kills
dito,
left
pre.
unanswered so far. Onic leading the way.
Patay
Set
ata
onto
uli.
the orange
Oh,
buff.
nice light.
Unoffended. Over there from Keyboy, and it looks like he was able to
Pero
get
nahihirapan
Kyrie
si TNZ.
with the steal. Grand Theft Orange.
Oh my God, the timing coming up
Match
from Kyrie.
4
Then,
battle per
obviously, the
third place
crowd
yung
control
10.
immunity that
Ay,
you
oo
get
nga,
from,
oo nga. Una
the
pala yung
Shields,
ano, una yung battle
Aura,
for third.
or Wrath, a
Pero
shield from,
panonoodin din natin
Martis.
yung bukas. Na tayo
God,
bukas.
that was he planned that so well. He knew that eventually the Minotaur will
Hirap
go
kay
for
Kiboy.
the
Oo,
Minotaur's
side.
Fury.
Hirap nga niyan, pre.
Paid dividends for Onic again. They're just taking away farm from TNZ. And as a Lunox, you don't want to ever be in this kind of spot. It's difficult
Paano
to
kaya
play
ilagay
catch
na
up
ito
when you're
nila?
playing Lunox.
Oops, ayan na.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Kiboy.
little bit of a struggle now for
Pasok.
TNZ trying to
Flicker.
catch up. Definitely going to have to
Conceal.
play a little bit more passive, cool, calm, and collective. But speaking of cool, calm, and collective, the rotations
Di mo na undersold kay Sunshine available na.
have been on point. Almost able to claim that turret on the top side, putting a lot
Best
of
of
pressure
7 na
into the mid
final.
lane.
Hindi,
It will
best of 5 lang.
fall. Now they'll be able to invade the jungle of Fireflex Esport with ease. As you already
Burits,
see
magkano
on the
premium ng
bottom side,
champ dyan?
another hurtful fall
$350,000
into
US
Onyx
dollars.
hands. Looks like Alien was not able to fend it off in the invasion
So,
onto the purple buff.
sabihin na natin
A
na
possible
ang
recipe made for disaster for Fireflex Esport. The
350,000
Lunox jungle just not
i-times natin sa
picking up the pace
50.
so far.
Yeah. Again, they
17 million.
60 seconds at level 1.
17 million po ang grand prize ng
Then Kyrie,
mananalo sa grand final. 17 million ha, FYI. 17
no
million.
chance at all for
Tang
Fireflux
ina.
to defend these invades. Kyrie's level 12 at this point.
Grabe yung Onic.
Able to get that
Wow.
kill. I didn't even. Where did Apex 47 go? It was so quick. I blinked and he disappeared. Kyrie over here pulling out magic tricks. Albert able to claim the tier 2 turret on the top side.
I know.
Fireflex Esports now stripped down to their tier 2 turrets. 8 minutes in.
17
What
million
was
pre.
that play from Onic? Was literally like a fraction of a second in a Minotaur. A tanky hero.
Mas malaki pa sa M5 price. Oh, mas malaki pa.
Gone in a fraction of a second from the combo of Onic. And it was just the one displacement.
Totoo may
to
tournament
the
pa sa
Kyrie.
China
The
this
mortal
year.
coil was used.
Siguro may tournament sa
Was able
China.
to
Excited din
land
ako if
Apex
ever.
47 in a bad spot. It allowed for the rest of Onic. I didn't even remember who else is there. I only remember Kyrie and just the
Lakas ng
immense amount of
Onic,
farm that
grabe.
this artist. Level 13 at 9 minutes. Level 13 at 9 minutes.
Level 13 si Kyrie,
He has
9
the only
minutes.
map on
My
with Tinzy
word.
right now, too. Tinzy was at 3,000.
Oh
He's
my
sitting at
word.
6,000 right now. 3 kills in and another objective into his hands. Definitely taking advantage of the early phase. Can still play. Called in, though. Stands. One-man army. Use the black shoes. We don't
Apex.
fury.
Patay si Apex dyan.
Apex 47, but at what cost? His boots will take him down.
No exchange. However, Fireflux. Fortunately, that's a Minotaur, but he did commit the ultimate
Sabi
again, so
ni
that's,
ano yun?
60
Totoo ba
seconds.
3 million
Don't
prize
have
pool sa
that
MSC? Oh, totoo,
Fury.
3 million.
On defense
3 million
mode
po
now
ang
for
prize pool
Fireflux
sa
Esports, so
MSC.
what they can do is just to
Grabe,
wait for
no? 3
Onyx to get
million,
in
pre.
front of their base. And the best case scenario
Lumaki
for
lalo ang
Fireflux
MLBB.
Esports
Oo,
at this point
abangan
is
nyo,
to not
lalaki
lose
pa lalo
the
to.
lead.
Lalaki pa to ng lalaki.
That is the only
Kasi na ano na eh, nabubuksan na siya sa West region eh.
actually hope for.
Tapos sa China, di ba? Pasok na sa China. So, abangan natin, lalaki pa to lalo. Sobrang lalaki.
Clinically
Di sumali RSG, dalawa lang representative natin min eh.
And they have a composition to be
AP
able to
Bren lang
kinda
tsaka
end this
Blacklist eh.
early if they kind of play it right, right? You see in Fireflex on a stand, not trying to allow this Lord
Hirap
to
niyan, pre.
take this inhibitor. It will fall. Looks like Onic was not able to open up the base. They may have to put punches here. They don't have minions in every single lane to be able to contest, but they may still go in for it. I mean, they're early aggressive for a reason, right? They picked this composition with Kyrie on the Martis to bridge that gap in the early game, and that is exactly
Ganda ng
what he's
Martis
done
kasi
so
talaga
far,
dito eh.
leading highest kills on the game, 3-0-0.
Oh my.
Di
I'm
pinahinga,
out of
no?
words. It's,
Di makahinga
Onyx
yung
is,
Fireflux
like I said,
eh.
systematically, clinically going for the siege. Safely
Grabe
keep away.
Onic, ML o nga. Up, up, up.
Connecting on to
Aroy
Apex
ko, bes.
47. Almost bursted down. Albert chunking him very low. Will make his way back.
Dalawa lang
to
pwede, boss.
The base for some region.
Hindi, dalawa lang in-invite eh, ng
Rethinking that
Russia eh.
decision. Need to be a
Russia
little bit
naman
more
yung
careful.
nag-i-invite eh.
He's easily bursted down. And he's the beefiest one on the team. So he's definitely going to have to be careful. I mean, they don't have a strong frontline composition. They have him and Alien to be able to contest. And right now, Onic already leading the
Nagandaga.
way, almost up by 10,000 gold in the first 12 minutes of today's match.
Hirap ah.
Tough break for Fireflux Esports. They did secure their turret out to the bottom lane, but it seems like they can't get out of their base. And Onyx game plan, okay, let's forego our own jungle. Let's take over their jungle so that there's no recovery whatsoever from Fireflux Esports.
Hirap ng
Yet he's
laban na
just,
to, pre.
he-
Up,
he's
up,
just
up. May
5K
team ba Russia?
at this
Oo,
point.
nalaglag ng team ng
Entirely
Russia yung
just
RCC.
dominating
Kahapon
so
nalaglag.
badly. Onyx just shows
Against,
them how to
Onic.
clinically,
Isang Onic eh.
systematically win the game in a perfect manner.
Speaking of systematically, Sunshine, though, top side, we'll be able to clear some of those minions, trying to open up the opportunity, trying to find a trade somewhere on the
Panay
map.
TV na naman si
A
Pangit,
good
sabi ni Jerome.
job finding
Sino
his way
Panay
to the
TV?
top side, to be able to get those
Ba't di
minions
sumali
there. I
Geek
don't think
Fam?
he'll be able to clear it, though.
Dalawa
We
nga
are
lang
going
yung
to see, Bruce finding
invited.
their time. He
Depende
may
yung
be
sa
able to get it, but
organizer
I
kung
like
sinong
where his head is, right?
invited.
He's definitely focusing
So, ang
on these
in-invite nila
objectives,
is,
even when
ano
they're
eh,
down by such a big
RRQ
deficit. It's
tsaka
not even a
Onic
high-kill
eh.
game.
So, yun,
This is
yun
just
ang,
overall
ano.
Onic dominating in the early phase and getting to those objectives first. Look at it already, pulling the aggro
Oh,
for this
no.
Lord.
Uy, huli.
Ooh, big setup towards yours. Aura will connect. Rosa. Selena's gift will be procced. Onic on the chase,
Grabe
though.
si Sans,
They spotted out the
pucha.
back lane. You're going to see Albert find Alien. He's going to go ahead and get shut down, finding his second death of the game.
Pakatapang, oo.
Onic now leading, unanswered, 5 kills ahead, and leading by 10K with the Luminous Lord.
Di na siya natatakot
Claimed in
eh. Oh,
their favor.
alala, tira mo.
Sans actually forced Apex 47 to get out, and now TNZ had to pop the Brilliance once again. Fortunately for all of the changes that we know for the Lunox now, Brilliance and Chaos is relatively quicker when it comes to the cooldown, so you have to wait for 20 to 30 seconds. But that's
Lakas
still
ni
an
Sans,
ultimate that's
gagi.
down, and TNZ just can't find an opening to make this jungle
Ang ginagawa ni
Lunox
Sans, oh.
even
Focus lang.
bearable at this point. Another Brilliance used. Sans is just destroying Fireflux Esports now.
And it looks like they may go in for a possible game ender. Look at the Luminous Lord.
Sobrang
in mid lane.
tapang,
Lanes are
gagi.
being synced currently for Onic.
Nakakabasag pa
look
naman
at
ng
Keyboy,
confidence
right? He's
level
looking
yan.
for that setup. A major I'm offended may be on the way. The placement is crucial. Luminous Lord makes his way into the base.
Pag,
Onic
uy, buti na lang. Dito mama yung hook ni
way,
Kiboy.
raising that banner high for Indonesia, trying to claim this game.
May ulti
with an
pa si
early
Boots,
finish
ah.
At the 13-minute mark. Luminous Lord very low
Back,
though. Will be
Apex,
bursted
knock
down
up.
big.
Pero tunaw ata, yan na yung
Furious was
ulti
from
ng
Apex
ni
47,
Boots.
but Kyrie will find the
Pucha,
kill and shut
tunaw
him
ata
down with
sila.
decimation. Brilliance activated from TNZ. Alien trying to
Boy
frontline
pa
the
si Alien.
damage. Kyrie will get another. Finds the double kill and shuts him down. Blazing duet from
Diyan lang,
Sunshine.
minion.
Trying to clear out these minions.
Makakuha
in the
sila
mid lane.
isa,
Keyboy with the
pero
set.
ubos ata
Kyrie
sila.
with the kill.
GG's.
It looks like they will be able to get another.
GG's.
TNZ will find Kyrie though. But Onic able to shut down Fireflux Esports.
Grabe.
Early finish in game 1 of the semifinals.
Grabe, Onic, pucha.
Very
Ano?
dominant fashion coming
Bugbog,
out from
pre.
Onic. It all started with the way that they invaded. After the first turtle, them winning with
Bugbog.
this we were talking about the snowball potential.
Grabe
Kyrie
naman
did
yun,
not
guys.
let go of the
Kita
grip
niyo ba?
that they've had after invading the purple buff, or at least attempting to for the invade and forcing some rotations before the second turtle of the game. There wasn't anything that they can do anymore. Look at that
Grabe.
initiation coming out from Boots.
Lakas maglaro
The
talaga
4
ng
minute
ano.
mark where
Lakas
Kyrie
talaga
is
maglaro
able
ng
to
Onic.
take out TNZ and also take away the purple, the orange buff. At
Ako
now
nag-a-agree ako
so
ng
much.
Onic
This is
ay
the
isa
very
talaga
quick
sa
kill
pinakamalakas
onto
na team
Apex 47.
sa buong mundo.
1 or 2 seconds.
Nabuo lang talaga tong AP brand
You
na
wouldn't think that
alam mo
the
yan,
Minotaur will be bursted
sobrang
out that
nakuha
quickly,
nila yung
especially because it's a tank
timpla ng
hero.
bawat isa.
Apex 47
Kaya sobrang lakas ng AP
goes for
brand.
the Minotaur free, but
Pero
he
itong
lets out
Onic,
Keyboy
sabihin na
back
natin
because
na
everybody
AP
from
brand
Onic
ang
is
pinakamalakas
down
na team sa
with
buong
shit.
mundo. Pangalawa ang Onic.
Just
Tas depende pa yun ha, depende pa yun kung
even
anong
Sunshine
mangyayari
going
sa
for the blazing duet
AP
does
brand.
not feel the damage anymore from Onic. Mainly because Fireflux Esports aren't able to actually utilize
Dito natin
the
makikita
combo.
kung gaano
We never
ka
saw any Minoan Fury
kaganda
to
yung
do it
adjustment
or
na ginawa ng
into
AP
Brilliance
brand.
plus order.
Dahil, di ba,
The Lunox bomb.
wala si
the
Bren
combo
sa
where you
kanila.
pop
Andun
your
si Trevor.
darkness
And si
your
Trevor,
brilliance
dati
at
yung
the same time,
tactician
so you
din
have
sa
to
ano eh.
really just destroy your opponents.
Sa
Never saw that because there wasn't any
Echo
opening
eh. So,
that Onic gave
I
to
mean, kung ano yung mga
Fireflux
natutunan ni
Yeah, you're crediting, I think it's the
Trevor,
the
yun yung
right?
pinapasa
That's
niya
what-
dito.
Exactly.
Grabe nga din ang
Exactly.
laro. Sobra.
But yeah, we didn't really get to see
Hinaan
that
lang
play
natin
off in their
konti, ah.
favor. And honestly, Fireflux Esports.
Yeah,
kind of
hinaan na
changed
natin
the
sila.
hands of what Onic was
Ayoko
going
muna
for.
pumunta sa gitna.
Trying to start in the early phase
Wait lang,
and
kukuha akong
rotate
pagkain,
the
saglit
better
ha. Kukuha akong
early
kanin ha.
early
Wait lang.
composition, and there you have it. Speaking of the
Kalma
early
lang
game,
kayo dyan. Kalma lang kayo dyan. Kukuha akong pagkain, okay?
Skies now stepping onto the ground. Kyrie, well-deserved MVP.
Well deserved. 31% damage taken. I wonder what his total damage was. 6-1 and 1. The only death for Kyrie was when they pushed the base. Just essentially zero. You know, you're not gonna count it because it's just like a kill out of overvision.
Konti lang kukunin kong pagkain. Ano lang, mangkok lang para
So
hindi
we are
ganun
gonna
ka-
see
hindi
his
ganun karami.
damage spread. That's gonna be a lot for sure. And I think Suns also
dahil
played this
late
well.
na rin after neto
There
matutulog
was
na
a
ako.
time where Apex 47 tried to frontline against Suns, but because this is Apex 47 prioritizing the Athena shield as well as the dominance ice, he's actually not built to tank Suns. Surely there's Athena shield, but that's not gonna be enough. You need radiant armor, right? Well, you understand why he went for the Athena shield because he wants to be able to pop his ultimate. But when it comes to like positional battles wherein you wanna get into position first before you go for your ultimate, you definitely need radiant armor because you're gonna suffer from all of the sustained ramp damage that you get from the Lilia. So that's an interesting dynamic. Obviously, Athena Shield on Minotaur up against the Lilia, that's pretty normal. That's literally the way to go. However, Suns played that well in a way that he timed his pokes and he was actually very aggressive. There was a time where the second Lord where Suns was actually behind enemy lines already. And he was uncontested and he managed to put Apex 47 to what 30-20% HP. Apex had to get out, and already there's a hero that's lost from Fireflux Esports.
Yeah, and some great synergy from them to be able to open up the way in that game. I mean, there was not a single point in that match where Onic was not in control, right?
Yes,
Again,
yes.
we were looking at Firefly Esports being a reactionary team
Game.
to them, just kind of
Game,
playing
game,
into their
game,
hands
game.
every step of the way until they were trapped into the base with nothing left to do. Backs against the wall and Illuminous Lord walking down there to close it out. And as we jump into game number 2, this is similar. This is literally a repeat of their debut opening for Game Ages 2024 when they went up against Blacklist. Blacklist was able to kind of close them out. Blacklist took a little bit longer to get that victory.
Linaw
but
pala
again,
ng
Blue Knox
live
and
stream,
Jungle
no?
did not
Ang
work
linaw
in their
pala ng
favor.
stream. Tinitingnan ko
And,
eh.
I don't really see them trying
Linaw
it
nung
again.
live
After they
stream,
lost to
gagi.
Blacklist, they did switch it up though. So maybe this time around we'll see a little bit of a
Wala
different
mo.
drafting style
Kain
from
tayo.
the side of Fireflex. Some adjustments. in the
Bangus.
ways for
Bangus,
Game
men.
Number 2 because
Bangus.
everything is on the line, right? I mean, they've made it here into the semifinals. They took down one of the highest decorated teams in Mobile
Yeah.
Legends history, M series holders, you name it, shutting down Blacklist from the Philippines. Honestly, probably doing Onic a favor, shutting them down and making them go up against them. And getting to this point, now we got to see, was it a fluke? Was it them stepping to the occasion? I mean, everybody's asking these questions like, how
Was it a
Turkey
fluke?
compared
Nakita
to
mo naman,
the top
putik,
regions
durog
in
na durog,
MLBB?
pre.
So
Walang
far,
chamba doon.
that game is a little bit of a struggle. So hopefully for game 2, like I said, I don't like seeing sweeps. I like seeing things go to a game number 3. They turn this around, but I definitely think it starts with something a little more.
Yun sinasabi niya yung laro ng
presence
Blacklist
that doesn't
tsaka
lack when you're
Fireflux.
behind like a
Durog na
Lunox
durog
or
yung
Jungle.
Blacklist nung ano, di ba?
The first 3 picks that we saw from Fireflux, from Fireflux
Ano
Esports,
natin?
very much
Yan na naman si Paul Pierce.
understand
Putya.
it's their signature pickups. In fact, they have mastered that kind of playstyle that you feel very confident the way that they're playing it. However, the last 2 picks, that's where they kind of felt like, okay, maybe we don't have much choices. They went in for CC, which is in a way fine because it's just a strong hero in general, but it doesn't really help them group up. It doesn't win the EXP lane matchup for them to be able to
Makinig kayo kay Wolf, hat. Ayan, tuturuan tayo ni Wolf.
split push or anything. It just is a strong hero 1v1 and then eventually in the team fights. Now that's
Ang sisi kasi
where the
malakas sa
Blue Knox comes
1v1.
in, wherein
Pero hindi ka makakatulong
it's
sa team fight.
very difficult
Ang magagawa mo lang, emang
very
zone.
difficult situation now because
At
it's very awkward.
mapuruhan
Surely,
yung
if you
mga
snowball with the Lunox,
fishy
you get
heroes.
your
Design
jungle
kasi yung
banner,
composition
like, spread
ng
out, then you get the first turtle, then
ng
eventually go for the Ruby.
yung composition ng
100%. You
tawag
can
dito
melt down even a Martis, even a Ruby will melt in your face.
ng
But
Onic
that
design para sa
didn't work because
suntukan eh.
Onic just
Kasi hindi mo pa
out
pwedeng
and
bulihin yung
the
Martis kasi
Lunox.
sasabayan ka nun eh.
Lunox makes sense, but it's
Pure damage
super
Martis.
duper high risk, and the reward is like, it's not even high risk, high reward. It's like ultra high risk, mediocre reward. If you get my meaning. So I understand why they went for it, but they didn't have to go that way. There's Baksha that was still available. They themselves banned the Parrots, which they could have used as well, right?
Ah.
So there's the Akai. I thought the Akai would be a good pickup as well because that's your protection, right? The Martis does not have enough.
Di ka rin
ground
magets yung
control
ano,
for the continuous
yung
ground
Lunox.
control that you get from the heavy spin, right?
Na-
So, there's a lot of like easier options.
Siguro iniisip lang nila,
that Fireflux
nagamit nila
Esports
tsaka
could have
gumana
gone
naman sa
for,
ibang mga
but
nakalaban.
they
Eh.
went- they
Pero
went,
against
different route, far too creative, and
against dito sa
they
may
struggled to
pinapakain ka yata, boss? Walang
Yeah, I mean,
pinapakain.
I think they're
Wala,
just
ako
trying to make a
kumakain,
statement.
pre.
They're like, if we can't get it off on the Philippines, we're gonna try it on Indonesia. It's kind of funny. It reminds me of when we saw the $1 million Layla walk
True,
in again from
true.
RQ Hoshi trying to
True,
get a steal
true.
as well against AP Bryn. some of these creative picks, but sometimes it's not the best option on the table. And you don't want to put yourself at a deficit because if you can't pull it off, it's harder to come back when you lose the first objectives in the game, to where it's almost not even worth picking it up. As other junglers, when you fall on a neutral objective, they have an easier time of climbing back up that hill and equalizing.
Tara kain tayo, guys.
But you don't really see that when the Lunox is in that position. You kind of see the Lunox, okay, I didn't get the first neutral objectives. Now I got to play safe. Now I just got to wait. Hopefully my
Kain tayo,
opponent
guys.
gets a good set, because if not, I'm not going to find my way into any of these turtles, which is why I do agree with you. I think the Akai would have been a great bully inside of that jungle to be able to do that.
Sorry Yan lang muna natin sila magkwentuhan.
Walking around, being able to
Okay,
do this
kakain.
French
Nagutom
rim,
ako eh.
definitely being a little bit more prominent on the scene, and I definitely think that's one
Sino
of the
lead, boss?
keys, that they have to watch out for, and
Nick,
possibly
1-0.
draft in as they lean forward into game number 2 up against
Durog yung
Onic.
game
Now,
1.
Onic, though, keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, I didn't see anything wrong with that. That was a one-sided story. That was a very low kill game. That was the fastest game that we've had today so far, and this is the semifinals, right? You got to bring your everything. And Onic, they're the last team standing so far for Indonesia. We saw RQ Hoshi get taken down from AP Bren in the first series of today, earning that first spot inside of the grand finals, holding that banner high.
Sabi ni Claude, parang Onic AP Bren. Yun talaga.
Is trying to
Randomly
get
mad. Hello
last
sa'yo.
remaining
Lakas
position
daw ng mga
to
sarang
go
mukha ni
head-to-head
Sans.
against them. Fireflex Esports,
Grabe
though,
naman kayo kay
hey,
Sans.
they're
Bait
out of
yan si
Turkey. They've
Sans.
been doing a great job. They just got to tighten up their draft and find a way
That's right.
to
Palabiro yun si
early
Sans,
phase
eh.
against Onic.
Yeah, maybe at the face of elimination against Onic, maybe you just go back to your typical standard plays, your most comfortable play style. There's really nothing wrong with that. You have a plethora of heroes that you can play for TNZ, right? Like we said, Akai could have been there, the choice. And then if you look at Alien, surely this is not the only hero that Alien can play. He
Oh, lakas
plays
niya ni
Lapu
Alien.
Lapu. I thought Lapu Lapu
Lapu.
was a great hero.
Lapu,
against Carry. Some
Terisla,
people would disagree though because
Arlott.
of the recent trending build-up for carry. Because you go quote-unquote tank carry now, apparently. Going in for the Thunder Belt, eventually go for like more tanky options, and your emblem set is actually tanky. But at the same time, you're
Kain
still
tayo,
a
guys,
Lapu-Lapu. You can still apply the threat, right? But as a CC, you can only tank the damage. And the thing is, Onic, you saw in that game, when Alien pops the Vengeance, they just drop their weapons and get out. Like, they disarm themselves, get out, and then just get back when the Vengeance is over. What I'm trying to say here is, Vengeance CC is not going to work as easily as that against a team like Onic. Because Onic will drop their weapons and just get out and not fight the CC when the Vengeance is up.
Yeah, definitely playing patient. I mean, and like you kind of mentioned inside of the first game, when the Minotaur would use the Minoan Fury, they were just baiting it out. They were just waiting for it, and then you have like 60 seconds to have a little bit of that window where they're pretty much vulnerable for that entire time because there's not that much crowd control to stop.
Ba yan? Puro kwentuhan naman yung
the really
caster.
aggressive push from the side of Onic.
Joke lang.
And I mean,
Joke lang. Lagi yung sinasabi sa amin eh. Puro kwento daw yung caster.
Opening up at the final slash and making it even worse. With the
Ano naman magsasabi? Ba yan? Puro kwento yung
off
caster.
the CC that they had. I mean, you have Keyboy,
As if namang hawak namin yung pindutan para mag-start yung game, no?
In the game, stack up the Arla is a recipe for disaster if you're ahead. And they leaned forward into that so much, putting Fireflex at a little bit of that deficit. So in the next game, I do agree with you. I mean, I think if they run the CC, they need something that can be a little bit more of a bully in the jungle. Like, I feel like the Minotaur would have been okay if they would have had something else that was strong in the jungle, that was a frontline hero that's not easily invadable and also able to bounce back when they're down in the neutral objectives. Maybe a little bit more sustainability to last in these fights. Because, I mean, we just saw TNZ definitely...
Maganda din kasi marinig insights nila. Yap. Ganun naman talaga. Pakinggan nyo.
Early game at Mage.
Marami tayong...
From Sans. You mentioned Sans. We asked the question.
Marami tayong matututunan sa kanila. Hindi ka clear, shoutout. Uy, maraming salamat sa 5 coffee. Thank you so much sa mga pakape. Actually, may kape pa pala ako. From Kita Coffee. Na hindi ko pa nainom. Hindi ko naubos pala kasi nag-gym ako kanina.
60 seconds of that game, we saw Melina gift Nana's passive procced very, very early in the engagements, and Rosa having to run all the way to the tier 2 turret. And not really being able to be there for those fights. And I think it really just boiled down to Apex 47 having to kind of protect TNZ majority of the time and trying to get a perfect Minoan Fury knockup, which didn't really work in Rosa's favor on the
Ano?
rotations. Speaking of rotations,
Kala ko nag-end live ka na. Oh, in-end live ko muna habang wala pa yung game to. Tapos re-live na lang. Sabi ng randomly mad, nakatakot ng Onic, feel ko sobrang dikit ng laban ulit ng championship game bukas. Gigilagin ng Orc na. Oh, gusto nila makakuha ng championship eh. Gusto nila makaisa.
Some of the matches before, like during the qualifiers that for the Turkish qualifiers as well. Guinevere is going to be the banner for Fireflux Esports. I believe that they also banned out Vexana in the previous game, which is kind of off-putting. The same time, it didn't matter anyways because Onic just picked up Lilia, right? And I think at this point,
Wait lang.
Suns is
Nakasan na natin. Pakinggan na natin sila.
Target ban in the first phase because it's gonna be playing almost anything anyways, right? So it's sometimes it's not worth it, right?
Yeah, that's
Lilia?
interesting. The Navari banned out too. I think the Mathilda is definitely going to be the option next for Fireflux Esports. Not something I would be willing to put into the hands of Onic. So
Tingin ko rin randomly mad, gigil ang Onic. Pero, let's see. Best of 5 naman yung bukas eh.
Constantly being banned out. Could be an
Baka natin kung sino ang papalag doon.
I mean, the Rubies, like we said, it's
Sabi ni Gabriel Ballester, mayaman ba si Chantel at Mara? Ano ba tanong yan, pre? Iba-iba ang definition ng salitang mayaman. Mayaman sa kaibigan, mayaman sa... Pero iba-iba ang definition ng salitang mayaman. Yung iba maraming pera, pero isipin mo, mayaman ba ako? Marami lang akong pera.
Calculated.
O hindi mo talaga Saka, alam mo, yung biroan lang namin yun yung mga mayaman. Si Wolf, mayaman si ano. Biroan lang namin lahat yun. Pero lahat kami dumadaan sa ano. Sa, alam mo yun, normal na hirap ng buhay. Shout out to Wilmar Publisher Vlog. Kinawawa lang ng Bre ng RQ. Baka world champion yan. Matik.
will struggle in their laning stage or the
Maganda.
Of the game
Yeah.
is when there's a Hilda that goes for it.
Ano yan? Tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari kay Flap tsaka Boots. Kasi aurahan yan eh. Di ba na-aurahan ni Flap si Boots nung pinakahuling game nila, yung game 7 eh.
Whatever it is open. But Hilda, the ban from Fireflux, if you're Onic, you're gonna favor Nolan for sure. That's
Ako si Pain. Oy, thank you so much. Yung mga hindi pa nakaka-follow tsaka nakakapag-subscribe, baka naman, boss. CW Albert bukas. If ever, Albert. May sakit si CW.
So yeah, I would say the Nolan's safe. They could
Biruan
definitely take
pero
that and deal some
totoo.
massive damage. There it goes right
Hindi,
there. Credits to Wolf and that amazing prediction.
Iba-iba kasi.
Fireflux, though, left with the response here. They let the Nolan walk, and where do they go
Kapag
from
may
here,
pera
right?
ka ba,
I mean,
maano ka ba?
the R-Lot
Hindi ko alam eh.
is still on the table if they do want to pick up something like that. Actually, you know what? No, they could run something like the Barats and run some sustainability on top of that. It did walk through this draft. We know Fireflux Esports likes to pick those core marksmen that we typically see, that Claude, that carry. We saw Onyx steal the carry away from them. They responded back with the Claude.
Kasi kung mayaman sila, wala sila sa MPL.
Because they have priority on whichever one they want. Should be a focus.
May career.
I would say
may magandang career, may magandang kinikita.
There should be a Barats pickup.
Nakakakain ng masarap.
I think that would be the second. Unless you pick up the Rafaela, I mean, that's the second.
May luxury ka na gumastos.
Something else entirely. Oh, okay. So the Terizla pickup. So at least I have crowd control.
Sabi ni Sai, ano yan? True world is not about money, it's about the blessing you receive in every aspect of your life. Wow, grabe naman. Pag Miss Universe.
Because they already know that the Nolan was picked up, they didn't feel like hard pressed to immediately pick up their jungler. Like
sabi ni Wilmar Publico Vlog, real talk lang, jungler lang malakas sa Indo. Dami nagsasabi na.
But that means that Onic
jungler lang, you mean
I'm thinking like
sa Indo mismo eh.
But there are
In general, Indo or dito sa Onic. Dito kasi sa Onic lahat eh, buong team na to malakas eh.
But up against the turns that might not be the choice. And knowing that
Nainis ako sa mga Nisans pag nagkita yan, kakamayan ko yan. Ba't naman?
Dependable or independent. I mean, independent in the side lane. So that's Harry.
Pero mabait yan si Sans, palabiro.
Yeah, really decision.
Hindi siya super maalam mag-English pero mabait siya.
Ooh, okay. Onic getting creative though. That hair.
Nakikwento rin ni Yeb eh.
I mean, with the Joy.
Coach
Yeb.
Yeb.
Don't really see it kind of banned. super early, it may need a little bit of suppression or some
Tingnan
single
na
target
natin yung
CC
draft.
to kind of keep him in his tracks. And we don't see a roamer yet for the side of Onic, but they don't have that much CC really in their favor. I mean, they got a little bit of slow from the Harith. They've got
Yan
the
sinasabi ko
final
kanina,
slash
di ba?
over from the
Si
Arlot, and he's
TNG.
gonna
Ay,
profit
si
off of some more group CC.
Alien.
So
Terizla. So, kuha sila Terizla.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they kind of combo it in with over there for Arlot. But looking at Fireflux, I do like the Joy pickup. It's very interesting. It is gonna put a lot of pressure though on the Terizla to kind of open up these engagements, right? I mean, I guess he has a little bit of a saving grace from Apex 47 to keep him alive when he drops in with those penalty zones, but that's really what they're going to be banking
Tignan mo yung
on.
ginawa ng Onic dito. Kumuha sila ng Harith to.
To get to the back line,
Open yung carry, open yung Claude. Counter kasi ng Harith yung dalawa na yun eh.
Albert, but for TNG or for
Feeling ko,
Terizla pickup,
Brody lang ang
I
option
feel
nila
like
dyan
that's just
eh.
going to be very aggressive. You're going to
Pero
really
baka
have to bank on
iban
him
pa ng
getting
Onic yun.
into the front line.
Ibibigay
drop
talaga
the
nila
penalty
yung
zone, and then
force
also
nila
have
mag-carry
Apex
si
47 attached to him to be able to
si
keep him alive
Sunshine.
and open up these games. But they are going against a Harith who does kind of
That's right.
love the up close and personal fight, which may be a little bit of a challenge.
Tingnan natin.
I think Onic are purposely overloading their dashes so that Fireflux will be tempted to go for a Phobius, which, by the way, has been picked up by Fireflux and before. However, because of the Terizla being already picked up by Fireflux, might not be considering that anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So, but there's the possibility because it was picked up in the mid lane before. Like a few actually played that. So many
Mid
times in
lane
the mid lane.
Phobius.
Great versus Nolan.
Pero
versus
hindi ko pa
Harith
hindi ko alam
and,
na kaya.
and this Arlot. But like I said, it's
So kaya niya yung Rosal.
it's a low hanging fruit that you don't want to take because it might be poison. Because Onyx really prepared for that. Yeah. So what is the pick? They're looking for a marksman here for Fireflux. I'm thinking
Onic pa rin ba si Coach Yeb?
for Fireflux because
Si Udil ata ngayon ang
they should not go for a
Si
late
Udil
game
si
hyper carry.
pangalan ng
anymore
coach
because
nila?
They already have the joy. So their side lane
pangalan ng
has
coach ng
to be
Onic?
at par
Nakalimutan ko.
with Harith. So I'm thinking like
Wait
Brody,
lang, hanapin ko.
carry, heroes that get activated much earlier for them to there you go, the carry.
Ayan, sige. Yeah, si
I'm
Adi
what
pala,
if
si
Onyx
Adi.
goes
Sorry.
back to
Udil
some
tuloy Adi pala.
Sustain kind of EXP lane. Maybe put this Arlot in the roam.
Yeb
for
Adi.
Boy. Then have Suns
Sabi
go
ni
for,
Wilmar, Publico Vlog,
more
RG Boy nga
Bagsana,
natin dito sa
a
Pinas, di
rich,
manalo pro player nila.
matches up with
Diyan
the
sa Indo,
tempo
paano
of
pa
the
pro
Arlot.
player ng PH?
Then go for a
Onic
sustain
na
hero for
nagsabi
Prince.
hard daw
Because
PH.
now you have the Nolan.
Server pa lumang RG
Usually
Boys
if you
dito.
if you go this route, you need
Hindi
to
naman
stay. So I'm thinking
siguro,
actually
pero
Uranus
malakas
for
ang
Onyx.
server natin ha.
Although it's
Malakas ang
no
server
longer
natin.
the meta hero, but Onyx is a team that actually picks that up. And it has good synergy with both Harith as well as Nolan, where you're not that concerned about the
Kailan
side lanes.
kailan
they go
finals
direct
bukas, boss?
anyways. So that's their sustain.
Nako,
Going in for boots.
Onic na.
And hey,
They,
there it goes.
they,
They going for the Phobius themselves. Hey, we're not going to bait it out. We're just going to pick it and dominate. I mean, there's a lot of dashes on their
Wow.
side. I feel like,
Oh,
I feel
no.
like the Joy's a little fast, though, to be able to kind of get away from the demonic force. We'll have to see how that kind of plays into it.
Mukhang delig sila
Sustainability
dito, pre ah.
knocked up on the board as well. There goes the Feramis to keep
the Feramis,
them
alright.
alive. And this is interesting, right? I mean, you've got a bully in the jungle with the Barats being able to kind of sustain himself in these engagements.
Yeah.
As long as he can get to his stacks, you are going to be looking at Boots running this
Ano kaya hero
Nolan in
nila?
the XP
Wala silang
lane.
yeah.
And then you're going to be
Well,
looking at the Arlot being that
ano kaya
roam
magiging mid nila
position that we were
dito?
looking for. Gold lane over there from Albert on the Harith, and then the mid lane
Hirap.
with the Feramis. Now,
Nolan pa ni
I
Kyle
like the way
yung
this
nga eh.
composition works out. It's definitely aggressive though. Like they're
Oh.
very, but you know what they do lack though?
Wow, wait.
They don't have that much range on their team.
Okay.
Definitely compared to the other side. But draft has been
Ooh.
finalized. One more shot over there for Fireflux Esports to turn this around. They need
Parang
to even out
mahirap
the
to, pre, ah.
series. If they lose here, it'll be a 2-0
Barats
sweep,
mid.
and we'll be seeing Onic be able to move on
Hindi,
forward
Barats
into the grand
XP
final
ang
scope
pre.
with AP Bryn.
Midjoy,
Can they turn this
Midjoy,
around?
Barats X. Barad XP,
It's difficult,
Midjoy.
but they did pick up this X-Borg, which in all sense of the game, like the actual matchup against the 5 heroes that you can see from Onic, surely it makes sense. But it forces you to go for Terizla Rome, which, by the way, has been trending recently. Not 100%. I don't agree 100% with that kind of mindset with the Terizla Rome, because it's too slow for my own taste. But hey, This is oh, it's not.
Whoa.
It's a mid lane Terizla.
Wow, mid lane
My
Terizla.
goodness.
Okay,
Okay, so
ginawa na nila
I've
to
seen a lot of
before.
things so far in game.
Ginawa na
We
nila
saw
to
from
before,
Keto
mid lane
in the
Terizla.
mid lane, from Nico. Now we see Terizla in the mid lane. What is going on? The XP laners of fighters are taking over in that mage position. Rosa showcasing his hero pool, but I'm kind of questionable about it, and I'm not gonna lie to you because we mentioned in game number 1 they really had a hard time when they were trying to get too creative with the draft on that Lunox
Nagawa na
jungle.
nila to
Now,
before nung
still gonna go something a
M4
little bit
ata.
not
O,
traditional,
M4.
unorthodox. Pick up the Terizla.
Pero
in the mid lane
gumana yan sa
position.
kanila
I hope
dati.
they can perform well on it because
Alam ko na
Onic has been
panalo
one of
nila
those
yun
teams
yung lineup na
that you can
ginamitan
easily
nila
pull
ng
off these types
Terizla.
of drafts against.
Unbelievable that this actually happened and we witnessed it. But with all due fairness, it has a little merit to it because you maybe you farm a little bit faster than when you compare to Rome, obviously. But how do you actually play this Terizla, right? Do you play it in a tanky manner as the typical XP laner, or do you go damage at least?
Feeling ko
Because you're a mid
hybrid
lane?
niya to.
Because guess what? If in the early stages, you 100% need a lot more damage as Fireflux Esports. Surely this joy hurts when it comes to the early rotations, but it's not as reliable as your typical mages like Fairmiss, for example, that can really cover your damage problems in the early stages of the game.
Boss, yung mapa din
Right,
makita.
they're gonna
Sorry,
be
ito na
relying on
binaba ko na
Apex
yung tsura ko.
47 for a little of that magic damage. It is Barats in the XP
Eh, sabi
lane,
ni
though. Boots is gonna
randomly,
pick that up.
Mad,
Kyrie is
iba
gonna
yung
be
laruan
running
ng RG sa
the
tour na
Nolan
katawan
to be
ng
able to deal
board
that
ma pro
quick
players.
burst damage.
Yeah, oo
Now,
nga.
Barats in the XP lane up against
Ganun
the
lang.
X-Borg, that's something
Kasi ang
interesting to see,
seryoso
right?
nilang
The
laro is yung
X-Borg that
scrim
has the
eh.
true damage, can kind of
Tapos
fight
sa
from afar.
RG, siguro
And
sabi
maybe
natin
able to
medyo
keep the Barats at
seryoso.
bay, but he's doing a
Pero
really good
pinakaseryoso
job of
nila,
maintaining
yung
his
practice
stacks.
nila talaga
The
is
question is, who will be able to win the early phase? The
may
last game, we
tournament
saw
mode
Onic
sila na
take total
ginagamit.
control on a one-sided
Tapos
tour
scrim
up against
yun sa
Fireflux
mga
Esports.
international
Is
or
the
local
Terizla in the mid lane the
teams nila
difference?
ganun. Mahina yung sound ng MDL, boss. MDL? Ano
I want to say
sinasabi mo?
yes, really badly. I want to say yes, but the easy
Anong
answer
sound
is
ng
no.
MDL?
This might even be a liability. Now Alien has to get out. No control now for the turtle for Fireflux Esports.
Yeah, no control indeed.
Hinunaan ko
But looks like
talaga.
they are still going in for it. Alien in a good
Actually,
position.
nilakasan ko
Look
pa
at
nga
Keyboy,
ng
though,
konti.
waiting for an
Makinig lang tayo.
opportunity to rush in with the final
Kailangan ko siya
slash.
magsalita, pre.
Set up the team for an opportunity to get that retribution.
Patay si Alien.
Who's in position pulling the aggro. Kyrie will find Alien. Down goes X-Borg. First blood.
Ooh,
Inside Onic. Hard
set
guard
up.
being activated, though, onto TNZ. Rushing in.
Uy, grabe naman si
Another
TNZ.
going down. TNZ, though,
Uy, patay ata si
will
Kyrie.
claim this turtle for Fireflux Esports and also draw a
Pero ang lalim
kill.
na nila.
Shuts
Wow.
down Kyrie, but now need to get out of there, making the most out of the mobility.
Grabe naman, boy.
On some skates sliding through the land of dawn as they're able to pull that
Oh,
off.
next,
and
ano
take
ba?
the kill
Next,
to even out the scoreboard.
next week pa yung MDL,
Onic
pre.
really got baited into taking down Alien, which kind of makes a lot of sense. But then again, that Xborg is already very low. That actually forced Kyrie to commit some of his energy as well as some of his spells before the turtle fight to get into position to take out Alien. So he wasn't really in the best spot to start that turtle. And that also meant that he lost some HP,
Anong
right? Because
item?
Alien had a little bit of poke
Okay.
in there. And that meant that
Ah,
when
mag-
TNZ
ano
as well as
kagad,
MX-47 combined
Tawag dito,
with the
Necklace of
hard
Durance
guard,
kagad si Sans.
Kyrie had some of his tools were gone, so that's the reason why Fireflux Esports easily committed onto Kyrie and
Kaya
took him
pa to
out.
palagpahan.
Then the
Sige,
bonus is
manood
they
lang kayo.
tapped
Focus
the
lang tayo.
turtle. So this is
Focus lang tayo sa game.
such a massive recovery from
Ay, pato.
Fireflux Esports.
Yeah, and they gotta really watch out for TN, right? We talked about
Sige, inaantok na rin inaantok na rin ako, 320 na.
to stop him from getting to the back line. And he has a little bit of that momentum boost, knowing Apex 47 has the heart guard when things get a little tricky. And hey, he was able to take down Kyrie. So it looks like
Uy,
so far their plans
Tunaw.
are working in their favor.
Tunaw.
Speaking of
Tunaw,
TNZ,
sige,
there
boy.
goes again the dynamic duo
Flicker.
combo, giving Onic a hard time, forcing
Oh,
out
huh.
the realm. Rosa with the penalty zone tries to get away, but no, Kyrie with the response shuts him down 2-1. Onic leading in kills, bottom side though.
uy.
Lance Sanity drop
Naka-imp.
welcome from Boots into the bush for
Tunog.
the stun, forcing out the
Patay
flicker
ata
from
si
Alien.
Alien, pre.
Both of them
Wow.
very low, still
Uy!
taking this fight.
Whoa!
And Boots draws the kill.
Wow, great movements coming out from Boots. baiting out Alien, and then the duel, he was able to win with that flicker. Alien didn't really expect that to happen, but
Di
now
makasabay
TNC
si
is gonna
Rosa.
be finishing up
Di
the
ko
duel,
alam,
but
parang
be a
nabibigla
lot of
ata
trades here.
yung Fireflux dito sa laro na
Kyrie able
to.
to find Apex 47. He used the retribution on him to kind of keep him at bay, to be able to burst him down. He will not have that for this turtle, but like we said again, Onic, one of those teams
Wala na
that
namang
kind of
retry si
focus on
TNC.
getting those kills
Parang sila.
nice and early.
Kyrie
It's
Ray.
okay. We know they're not going to go for this turtle anyway. We might as well get the slightest advantage we can. And there you have it, now leading the way 4-2. 1,000 gold lead and the third kill so far from Kyrie. I mean, he was opening up the game in match number 1 over there with that.
Hindi sanay sa hero. Hindi ginagamit nila yan. Nung M4, nakita ko na ginamit nila yan and effective yun sa kanila.
And you can see that
Partida, hindi
they're
pa
not
uso yung fighter mid
making
nun
the
ah.
beeline towards the turtle yet because,
Recently lang naman nauso yung
it
fighter
kinda
mid
felt
eh.
like TNZ knows
Dahil
he has
nga
a little
sa
bit of
clear
leg on
wave,
that
tsaka
shoulder,
parang
go for the
hindi
purple first,
hindi
and
na
then
super
get level
priority
from
yung
Kyrie.
magical.
That is a crucial dito, Water.
Itong mga nakaraan.
Because
Tsaka
that's,
kung titingnan mo,
levels
Fireflux
that, you know,
naka-magic.
it's EXP that you take away from
Naka-magic
Kyrie.
naman
So,
na jungle
TNZ
sila eh.
actually great heads up play in that regard.
Shout out Jiro,
Yeah,
hello.
definitely still putting on pressure.
NBA
Still trying to
Infinite
find
na.
a way
Sige,
to keep
baka
their
bukas tayo
momentum
mag-NBA Infinite.
rolling. Even though Onic has the slightest advantage, can't count him
Wala,
out
watch
just
party
yet.
tayo
Rosa
ngayon eh.
pulled in down to about 50% HP. Rotating around with this untraditional pickup on this Terizla, but still trying to
Kenzie.
provide that opportunity with the penalty zones. Turtle spawned in though. There it goes.
Noon na pa
Park guard
nether
activated
rin.
onto
Yun
TNZ.
lang.
Use the
Huli.
electrifying beats.
Lost
Triple
insanity.
knockup. Rosa with the set alien with the punish.
Patay
Finds
din
Kyrie.
nata
Boots will
Albert.
take down
Boy pa
TNZ.
ba?
Rosa
Ay,
finds
gagi, boy
Boots.
pa, pre.
That is going to be a 2-for-2 trade as Albert shuts
Grabe
down
si
Rosa.
Albert.
And wait a minute, Suns.
Pero yung top
Shut
lane,
down
si
Alien
Sunshine, pre.
Apex 47, forced back into the tier 1 turret for the mid lane.
Oh, great plays coming out from Fireflux, but even better recovery coming out from Onic. This time they have activated Albert. And this is a 5v4 scenario where Fireflux Esports got surprised, a little bit surprised at the
What time
decision
tayo mag-watch
to
party
park
tomorrow?
Baron
Baka
in this
10
case.
p.m.
However,
10 kasi simula ng
Alien
battle
still
for third
managed
daw
to
eh.
land a good ultimate with the flicker. Without the flicker, I mean. Unfortunately, because Onic had 5 of their members in the clash.
Naantok na ako,
allowed
Onic.
Onic to
Tapusin nyo
have
na
a
yan.
Massive damage gap. However, Fireflux, Sunshine was able to push top lane. That's a tier 2 turret that he was able to take away when the fight happened. So I think that
Pag ako nakatulog,
honestly,
kayo na
after all the
bahala.
things that happened, Fireflux Esports might have had the better trade. Even when they're not leading when it comes to the gold right now, I think that specific trade, you are very happy if you're Fireflux Esports.
Yeah, definitely credits to Sunshine over there. Some good rotations to be able to open up an opportunity for Fireflux Esports.
Kayo na
Keep
bahala
them in
pag
this
ako
game,
nakatulog, ha?
up against Onic. I mean, Fireflux
Talagay
had a
ko
good start
dito,
though. They
Mike.
were able to take that
Yan.
turtle.
Para
The
naka,
first turtle, the second one got
naka-chill
lost to
lang tayo.
Onic. So at least both sides were able to pull a turtle off so far. In terms of map control, though, I mean, yeah, you're looking at Fireflux Esports having the slightest advantage. It's definitely going to be a battle over who could take this mid lane turret next. You're already seeing
Ire-record ko na
Onic
lang para
realizing
makontent.
this is the next focus, and they are going to go ahead and shift on over to that. Now, everything is on the line for
Kenzie.
Fireflux Esports right now, right? I mean, if they lose this game, they're done. They're knocked out of
Pero
game.
alam nyo,
Futures
mahirap
2024,
kalaban yung Barrett,
packing their
ah.
bags and going home. Onic, they have insurance. They know if we lose this, hey, we're going through to game 3, baby. So no need to worry. But Fireflux Esports, a lot of
Sino yung
pressure
unan ko?
on
Ito
their
yung unan
side,
ko
and
eh.
you can definitely tell. they're
Ayun na,
getting their all
pumasok
played
nun.
a
Ako,
little bit
ganda.
more
Pasok.
calculated this time
Nether
around.
dam.
The calculation
Patay
doesn't
si
go down.
Kyrie.
TNZ gonna find Kyrie.
Pasok.
Big play for
Ay,
Fireflux
nako,
Esports.
bawi,
Response
Alien.
back from Onic. Last standing from Alien for some massive AoE damage. Albert will find Sunshine.
Boy pa si Rosa.
TNZ trying
Uy,
to
yung
get away.
sakit.
Heart guard activated. Keep him
Patay ata
alive.
si Kuya Kibs.
People are in the chase, but now the response back.
Uli.
The stun from
Uli ka,
Apex
boy.
47.
Tumama
The
yung stun.
counterplay from TNZ.
Uy.
Maybe able to get him. Shuts down Keyboy. Albert responds back, taking down TNZ. Rosa trying to make his way back into the
Patay
mid
si
lane. Albert
Rosa,
on the
pre.
chase. Will drop down. Nizam and Force and Albert will take down Rosa. Last insanity though. The
Patay
punish
din.
back.
Patay din.
Both of these teams
Patay
fighting it
din.
out, getting answers across the board. Alien shuts down Albert, but Albert
Grabe si
take him out
Albert,
as
pre.
well. That is a 3-for-2 trade, but Onic leading the way still 11-7, and now pulling the aggro for this Lord.
Oh my God, Onic, what a good exchange for both
Wala pa
teams
si
in that
TNC.
segment.
Kuha nila to.
Showcase
Lord
of
to.
skills. TNC overheating and trying to punish Keyboy, but Keyboy good communication between Kiboy as well as Albert. Kiboy did not
Sabi
move,
si
so that TNZ
Albert
will
dun.
also be pinned to
Palumag
5 spot.
Albert
And
si
he's gonna
Harit.
survive for a little bit. That is Arlott anyways with a lot of spell vamps. So that's why he had a little bit of staying power. It allowed Albert to close in the gap and get the to eventually get a triple. He eventually died because of that, but because TNZ died after Kyrie was already long overdue when it comes to respawn, that allowed Onic to have a
Lord sa
better
baba.
trade-off
Level 1 Lord pa lang
after the
yan, pero
kills, right?
ano,
Because Kyrie has now
feeling ko
respawned.
kaya pa
He
yung Fireflux.
can burst the
Pero
Lord so
mababasag
easily,
ata,
as you've seen.
the second
Because
layer
TNZ
kaya.
died a few
Kaya
seconds
sinag-ulti na.
when Kyrie is already dead.
Burst.
He wasn't able to reach the Lord fight. So that's gonna be great for Onic. Forcing the Heart Guard again against
Kaya
Firefox
yung gitna.
Esports.
Yeah, and a good play too,
Parang
right? I
kaya
mean, they
mag-harit.
noticed
Oo nga eh.
a little bit
Hindi,
of that
Albert
focus
kasi
from
veterans na
AK-47
talaga yun eh.
onto TNZ, forces out the hard guard, opens up the
Basag.
opportunity to take
Uy,
that
huli.
turret on the top side, and
Yun lang,
the turret
boy.
for the mid lane.
Naku, pumasok si Rosa, walang kasama.
Full send dive, but penalty zone hit with Detna's welcome boots. Gets the stun on the wall. Zaman Force drops down. Albert trying to find his 6th kill of the game, highest kills in the game so far for Onic as they open up this map
Lakas ni
even
Alfred.
more
Sino
in
si
their
Alfred
favor,
dyan?
leading by
Si
1 turret,
Albert.
also up by 3,000 gold.
Alfred
Good
ang
pressure
putik.
coming out from Onic, but definitely
Wus.
great defense from a decent defense coming out from Fireflux Esports. They're not losing some of their members, but they are trailing behind when it comes to the goal. TNC wants to fight this.
Na-force kagad yung ano.
Looks like they want to take the fight, but
Altar.
can they pull it off? Last Sanity going
Sanity.
down. Alien
Kaya
does not have
kasi
the Froga
yun.
armor.
Ay,
Needs to
hindi.
get out of there. Chunked very low. Onic putting on some pressure up against Fireflux Esports. Now taking control of this game. Fireflux having to kind of be reactive. Similar to the first game we've seen. I wouldn't say as much of a one-sided story, but still, you can tell
Boy
Onic
pa.
is controlling the
Kaya
tempo.
pa. Pahinga. Boy pa.
Face coming out from Fireflux. So far, I mean, from Onic, but TNZ, I think that
Since
there's a lot
nagano
of, there should be a lot of credit that could be
Nakaano
given
na
to
ba?
this guy.
Naka-glowing wand ba si
At this
Sans?
point, like playing the Joy in a very aggressive manner, even when they're trailing behind, he knows the limits of the hero that, in a way, especially because they have the Angela, but more so
Ayun,
because
tama
of
nga ako.
how much he's
Lightning Truncheon
able to
tapos
be
ano.
aggressive. The thing for Onic is that they know how to deal with this, how to handle this kind. I want to say poke coming out from the Joy, which is not actually a poke because it's an assassin. It doesn't like visually makes a lot of sense to say that that is poke, but in a way that is what TNZ is doing. Like he's looking for an opening at least. He's making an opening so that Onic will just back out and maybe he finds one kill or maybe he attracts Onyx's attention and baits them. But
Naantok na ako, boys.
Onyx is not gonna fall for the trap.
Tapusin nyo na yan, Onic. Inaantok na ako. Oy, gagi pumasok si Renzi.
Intact TNZ.
Tanib.
He's gonna join the party nice and early. He's gonna jump in with the electrifying beats.
Yun ang mahirap dyan, wala nang hard guard. Pwede mag-reset muna Onic tapos
off the playing field. A chance for Onic to respond if they do want to take this clash. You are going to go ahead and see Kyrie, though, respawn back to the base. A little bit of that regen, getting ready to go ahead and take that purple buff. Boots in a good position. I mean, he
subscribe na ako sa'yo, Boss Boris. Pakanood bukas. Oh, nood ka bukas.
This Lord and also in the mid lane. But now you are seeing Fireflux Esports trying to go in, trying to actually take this fight in the Lord pit.
Interesting.
Kailangan i-reset ng Onic to. Ayan na, sakto. Andyan na si Kyrie.
Top to bottom, so maybe that's why they feel confident.
Woo!
Wow.
TNZ.
There you have it. TNZ able to pull it off, gets a kill, takes out Kyrie, and claims the Lord from
Albert,
Fireflux Esports.
sakit.
Now they just need to get out of there. Rosa with the penalty zone on their way out. Nobody will fall for the side of Fireflux Esports. Mission accomplished, and hey, this is what they need to do to stay in this game.
Fireflux Esports, great understanding of how to take the Lord, to counter the Lord, because they know that TNZ is max level anyways, so is Kyrie, so there'll always be a 50-50. Then TNZ actually went against 5, so that's crazy. But at the same time, the setup was there. If you're going to be looking at the map, Fireflux's minion wave management was actually on point. Top was pushing heavily, bottom was pushing heavily, so Fireflux had a lot more opening actually to take that Lord, and indeed they were able to do so. TNZ just right amount of confidence.
Ayaw ata tayo patulogin. Oo nga eh.
aggression
Boy na boy pa Fireflux. Oh,
actually
Albert, tunaw.
even
Last
up
Insanity.
this game.
Flicker. Nice
Yeah.
one.
is going to rush in. Harkar activated, keeping Sunshine alive. A little bit of a close call. Firefox Esports, you know, they were down for a majority of this game.
Boy,
Rosa,
pre.
with the flicker to safety, the pendulum has swung in their favor, right? Able to steal this Lord. Like you said, give some credit over to TNZ on the way he's been kind of rotating around, especially running this Joy, who we typically see banned out, and nothing really to stop him from getting into these neutral objectives. He's really leaning
Okay pa
on
ba
not
to?
having to worry about
Kanina
that
pa
single
tong
target
ano eh.
CC. Apex 47 with the heart guards to keep him alive, and it's getting the job done almost every single time when it comes to the contest for these neutral engagements. And it's
Okay
something
pa.
that Onic is going to have to watch out for, because the
Sabi
later
ko
this
to
game
kanina,
goes, the stronger these Lords
kaninang
are.
gabi. Kaninang gabi.
Fireflies can continue to
Kanina
get
mga
these
alas
kills,
7, bumili kasi akong
Onic
kape. Doon
will
sa
be forced
Kita
to the
Cafe,
defense
malapit
and
dito
try
sa
and
amin.
hold him off from evening out the series.
Oh, look at Joy. This is the timing where Joy is much stronger than a Nolan.
Shit.
So in the early stages, Nolan is faster compared to the Joy. Nolan is actually
Panis na yan, boss.
more
Akin na lang.
bursty, I guess, compared to
Sorry,
the Joy.
gabi pa
But at this
pala.
point,
Madaling araw
where
na
they're
pala.
all locked
Umaga
out,
na kasi.
all of the with 4 items already up for TNZ, eventually gets to the fifth whole item. That Joy is gonna hurt, right? So it definitely, when it comes to 1v1, Kyrie
Anong
will not
bansa
survive that.
Fireflies,
There's no-
boss? Turkey.
You
Turkey
don't want to
po.
go Winter Truncheon if you're the Nolan. Not even the Immortality, right? So you want to go all out damage. There's no way for you to stop the Angela Joy combo. So Fireflux Esports are really showcasing how good their composition is. However, Onic still is winning when it comes to the
aroy!
economy. But
Tuno.
oh my God.
Kyrie finding Apex 47, Netherrealm being activated. TNZ trying to get away.
Ayun na,
They
GG's na.
finally caught him. Deadness welcome from Boots Sans takes the kill.
GG's na, pre.
High value target in there. Finish Sunshine trying to
GG's
escape him
na.
slash Kyrie. Still in the deal with the fracture. We'll shut him down. Albert in the mid lane. We'll find
God.
Alien.
GG's
One
na,
more member
pre.
left to go. Rosa, the mid lane to Rizla. Left to fight the full
Hot up.
5-man team. What time is it? What time is it, Wolf? Oh, you know what time it is. It's on
You know what time it is.
As they are
It's
pushing through the mid lane. Kyrie, king of the sky,
Oh.
now king of the ground, claims the full
Wow.
win against Fireflex Esports and moves on to the grand finals of Game
Grabe.
of Futures 2024.
In a snap. In fact, and I don't know if you've ever played other games like sports games, but that is definitely a superstar trigger that we saw. Like literally the timing where it kind of felt like for 17 minutes or for 16 minutes they're just charging up their bars and waiting for that superstar trigger to kick in. Eventually all of them got that all together, and the jump there coming out from Kyrie looking for the perfect
Grabe.
target, the Angela, the only defense for them. They pick him up,
Napakaganda
and then they found the
ng-
Joy.
ayan,
Who's committed the flicker,
Tingnan natin,
an
tingnan natin.
ultimate to lock down
Grabe,
the Joy.
napakaganda.
Then eventually they found another. Rosa couldn't run. Sunshine couldn't run. They got wiped away in a snap.
Ganda ng
That's
galaw.
Onic
Ang ginawa nila,
activating their
inisa-isa,
superstar
pre,
trigger
no?
against Fireflux Esports.
Panoorin natin,
Happens
balikan
to be
natin, tingnan
really
natin yung
recovering from
highlights.
this game.
Ito, more
Yeah,
on
definitely
more in
pressure as
Fireflux
they
ang
do that match.
nakaka...
I mean, at some point it looked like they were going to be
Kuha
able to
eh.
kind of close it out themselves, but Onic being resilient as ever.
Grabe, no? Nalingat. Actually, hindi ko pa na-absorb eh, yung nangyari. Sige, tingnan natin.
In a flash. All from
Tingnan natin.
one
Panoorin
mistake
natin.
from the side of Fireflux Esports, and that's all it takes when you're going up against a team of this caliber. The higher we go on this ladder, the altitude is rising, and only so many teams can handle
Ayun,
that
no?
pressure.
Sakit,
Onic
sakit na.
rising to the occasion. They
Pero hindi
saw
pa ito, matagal
RQ
pa to.
Hoshi fall. AP Brennan, they said, hey,
Pero
we're the
makikita
last
mo
one
yung
standing out there
potential
from
eh.
Indonesia. This is our stand, and we don't plan on going out without a fight.
Ayun, lalim.
Able to pull it off. A great execution to be able to close out this game. That means we're going to be having a grand finals
Bawi sila.
between the last standing team from the Philippines, AP Brin, up against the last standing team from
Ay, no,
Indonesia.
ganda ng counter.
It's Onic time.
Eto na.
Here, we can see
Oh,
that
hindi pa to, hindi pa to.
Fireflux Esports are actually
Ayan na, ito yun, ito yun.
finding some ways. And this
Huli,
is
bag.
Boots is going for the flicker. Sunshine from the left side, found by Keyboy, of all people.
Nabol ni Giboy.
Keyboy just kind of smells where the opponents are, and he even used the
Grabe.
flicker in a very flashy manner as was the final smash,
GG's, pre.
just to control.
Walang
Sunshine.
panghawak sa harit eh.
And the house of cards that Fireflux built just crumbled down so easily in a snap and a trigger of a finger. And I gotta say, yeah, I do agree with this MVP.
Grabe si Albert, pre.
Albert kept Onic in this game. When Kyrie was already struggling
Isipin mo,
because
no?
of the nature of Nolan
Parang-
versus Angela Joy matchup, Albert picked up the slack. And to be fair, he had a triple in this
Parang
game. and
majority ng
almost
mga
all of
tournaments,
those,
hindi naglalaro si
flashes, he was
Albert, di
able
ba?
to
Pero
output
nung
the
kinailangan
advantage
siya,
to kind of secure his team.
ina,
And
no?
in
Ganyan
that
talaga
last
pag mga
set of
pro
defense as
players,
well, he
eh.
was so smooth with his
Malulupit,
movements,
eh.
was
Imagine
very
mo,
efficient
si
with his hiring.
Albert.
And
Di ba jungle role
that's
yan?
how you know that he is definitely an expert.
Pero
in this
flexy
team.
naman siya.
And overall, the members of
TY boss makakatulog na. Oy, thank you so much randomly mad. Tsaka maraming salamat din sa lahat ng mga tumambay
Yes,
dito.
with
Gandang
execution,
laro,
there you
grabe.
go. As you see, both
Congratulations
teams on
sa
the board so
Onic.
far. An amazing series for
Magkakaroon
Onic.
tayo ng
Fireflies
rematch.
Esports, though,
Grand Finals
definitely
bukas.
rose to the occasion. Didn't really disappoint.
May rematch
Able to take
tayo,
down,
boss.
Blacklist
Yes.
at the end of the day and show some promising things for the region as we kind of progress through the year for Mobile Legends 2024.
Rematch ang magaganap, pre. Then,
Then
dati ba namang jungle yan, boss? Eh? Parang si Sens ang lakas din kasi dating jungler ng Onic. Yun yung nakakatuwa kay Sens kasi, di ba? Parang nagbigay siya ng, nagbigay siya ng spot niya para kay Kyrie. Kasi syempre, tanggap naman niya na mas malakas si Kyrie sa kanya. GG's yun, pre. GG's. GG's, congratulations po sa Onic. And of course, congratulations din naman sa Fireflux for putting up a good fight. Mahirap yun ha, mahirap yung dinaanan ng Fireflux. So, kailangan niya lang mag-reset, kailangan niya lang mag-restart. Bawi talaga. As in. Ayun na. Oy, maraming salamat sa mga sumama sa YouTube, sa TikTok. Maraming salamat po sa mga nanood kasama namin. Nakita na natin yung mga highlights. And thank you so much kay Wolf at saka kay Step Weezy. Sobrang ganda ng game na yon. Salamat sa pagkakast. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nanood. Mga ganun yun, ganun yung pake mo, no? Grabe, napakaganda at napakainit ang laban na ating natunghayan. But of course, maraming salamat sa ating sponsor.
I have to still commend the members of Fireflux, particularly with TNZ, just showing us
The Philippines' fastest 5G mobile network based on analysis by Ookla speed test. Ano ba yung spiel namin dati? Ano yan? Smart is still the Philippines' fastest. Ano yan? Smart is still the Philippines' fastest 5G mobile network based on analysis by Ookla speed and speed test intelligence data for speed and coverage for Q1, Q2 2020, 2023 and Q2, Q4 2024. Ookla trademark use and license information. Basta ganun. Our official sponsor, Samsung Awesome 1M2. So, yun na yun. Yung mga spill namin dati. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Pahinga na tayo. Okay, may magandang bakbakan pa. Okay, para bukas. Sige na, maraming salamat, guys. Thank you so much. Pahinga na kayo. Bye-bye.